What's popping? It looks like trickle-down beefonomics is proving itself to be true because the producers for the two biggest artists that had the biggest beef in potentially all of hip-hop history, maybe not as deadly as, obviously, Biggie and Pac, but Drake and Kendrick Lamar, the producer being Gordo, formerly known as Carnage, DJ Carnage, who produced a lot of the house album that Drake did, Honestly Nevermind, and he also produced Rich Baby Daddy, and he's been working with Drake very frequently. Mustard, who produced, obviously, songs on GNX, as well as Not Like Us, and has been riding heavy for Kendrick Lamar, even really taking up the mantle more than any other producer I've personally seen. But it's got him good favor. These guys used to be cool, and then now suddenly they've got some beef because just the other day, Gordo went on, and this is in the middle of him being on a tour, a worldwide tour. He goes on Twitter, formerly, or X, Twitter, and says the following. Imagine devoting your entire Coachella set to a guy that wouldn't drive an hour to pop out for you, CC Mustard. This is in reference to the Coachella set that DJ Mustard got to, not headline, but he was on the bill and he played a bunch of songs and Kendrick Lamar didn't show up. Now, I don't know if Kendrick Lamar was an hour away because Kendrick Lamar is on tour with SZA right now. So for him to be able to take the time out to show up, I don't think that's going to happen. I am willing to say, though, that if it was, number one, if Kendrick Lamar didn't have his own tour, he would be on the bill at Coachella himself. So it wouldn't be anything for him to show up for Mustard. And if by some miracle Kendrick Lamar wasn't on Coachella and Mustard was, and Kendrick Lamar wasn't on tour, I am willing to believe that Kendrick Lamar would show up to perform the song. It's a moment. It's going to get talked about. It's going to help both of them. That would for sure happen. But he continues and says, well, actually, this was the first tweet. I got them out of order. So Gordo says, oh my God, just noticed Mustard unfollowed me on IG. Sad day. Headlining Cella must have got to his head. So he's obviously not headlining. He's just on the bill. And then Mustard starts to reply. It says, oh my God, girl, I can't believe it. Chick, he really left me in his house with all his chains. He trusts me. I'm his fine-ish. And it shows Gordo in the embassy, Drake's gigantic mansion, wearing a Drake chain. It's an NERD chain, where it's originally a Pharrell chain. NERD was Pharrell and I think it was Chad Hugo's group in the early 2000s. They made some great projects. In Search Of, you guys should check that out. I think the more recent one was good too. I don't know if that one dropped in 2016 or 2017. I get lost with the years, but you guys should check out NERD music. Mustard goes on to say, ain't going back and forth with somebody that's happy to change music on someone's toilet seats. Let's just end it here. I don't even get what that means. Let's just end it here. I'm richer than you and have more hits than you. I have multiple houses with my own toilet seats and many of my own chains to wear. The guy wants attention. Keep slaving at those overseas shows, brother. Don't forget to buckle dude's pants after you done. Going up to rank first. And Gordo replies and says, 10,000 tickets in Santiago, Chile. I hope more DJs, quote unquote, get to experience this feeling. Headlining your own worldwide tour is unreal. This is where it's a flex. Now we got to attack the hypocrisy that Mustard is displaying here. Mustard is with Kendrick Lamar, who was fighting against Drake and saying like, yo, this is culture. This is, respect. This is not about money and sales and toilets because Drake and hits because Drake has all of those things in many, 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 many levels above Kendrick Lamar. So how are you going to bring up this argument that Drake stans were bringing up when you're going at it with Gordo? So if you want to talk about the culture, especially in terms of DJing, you really don't hold a candle to Gordo, formerly known as DJ Carnage. That is if you want to be known as DJ Mustard, which you were initially. But now he just goes by Mustard. And this goes back, like this beef does go back a little bit into the past because when Gordo and Mustard were dropping their album, they dropped on the same day, funny enough. And back in August, academics reported the album sales for Mustard. And Mustard wasn't too happy with it. And he says, album sales are a form of white supremacy, y'all racist. Now, this kind of seemed like a meme. And then he says, it's only racist when your album flops. If your album sold well, you'd be flexing your sales, which is true. And he's like, your name's Thomas O'Malley. Yeah, this guy from Scotland or Ireland or something. Now, this is true because right now he's flexing against Gordo and talking about, I got more money in toilet seats. He definitely would have been talking about he got more album sales. He says, Drake is the Malcolm X of white people. And academics, make sure you post Gordo first week since Drake thought he did a thing with making him drop on the same day as me. These Drake bots are the nation of Drizlam. This was hilarious by Mustard. And the bots trying to fade me. And then he talks about him selling 18K first week. Now, Gordo ended up dropping, and I think he sold, like 16K, so it was neck and neck. He didn't outsell Mustard, but how are we going to say he should outsell Mustard when Mustard's brand is clearly way bigger than Gordo's domestically? Because Billboard sales are domestic. And Gordo did have the assistance of 2 Drake tracks on his project. Some people will say, oh, nah, like Drake was pretending. Drake was definitely trying to get Gordo to outsell Mustard. Let's not play around. Drake's a petty guy. He holds grudges. But this continues. Gordo replies several weeks later on Twitter, and he says, I will not tolerate any DJ Mustard slander. That guy's a effing legend, made multiple classics, and had one of the most iconic runs ever as a producer. All facts here. He's just a strange guy. And this is where I'm like, yo, if Mustard didn't unfollow you then, and this was in August, and right now we're in April, like 9 months later, if he didn't unfollow Gordo then I don't know why he would unfollow him now. I understand if he unfollowed him, then he's like, yo, why does this guy call me a strange guy? This kind of feels like a backhanded compliment. I thought we were cool or at least cordial, which we need a lot more producers to be cordial. Like, if producers are getting into beefs with each other because producers/DJs, because of the artists they're working with, man, we've got some problems. But granted, it's with these guys. They're not going to, take it to violence or anything. But let's actually compare them. When we talk about production credits, Mustard blows Carnage Gordo out of the water. But the problem is we can't really compare them identically because while Gordo has produced hip-hop in the past, he's not mainly a hip-hop producer. He's done a lot of different genres. Like, he's done electronic, he's done house, he's done techno, he's done hip-hop. Probably some other genres that are escaping me that I'm not proficient in at all. And he's also done a lot of DJ tours. That's the thing with Mustard. Mustard isn't really DJing like that. And when it comes to producer, like, for example, Gordo is on a tour right now. Think of like a Calvin Harris, right? Or a Martin Garrix or a Skrillex. I'm not saying that Gordo is on these guys' level. But what I am saying is that these guys are DJs/producers, but they sell out shows on their own. So people are like, oh, this is a Steve Aoki show. We're going to go to that. Nobody's really saying, oh, this is a Mustard show. We're going to go to that. I don't even know if there's a Mustard tour. So all of these DJ acts, they've got their own brand and their own sets with their own music that people are tuning into and willing to buy tickets to show up to globally. Mustard does not have that. Even domestically, I don't know if Mustard has that. Granted, Metro Boomin, I don't even think he's done his own DJ tour. He has done a couple of sets at big festivals, but I think it would be possible for Metro Boomin to do that. However, Metro Boomin would have to learn and get better at DJing. Like, these DJ guys, they've done thousands of shows, like hundreds of shows at least before they start doing this on top of the production. So they really know how to work the crowd as well. It's two different skill sets that they fuse together, which is very, very impressive. Now, most DJs just DJ and can't really produce. Gordo right now, he's on a tour. 10,000 tickets? I need to see that bill, to be honest, because that is mind-blowing to me. Okay, I tried to be fair. I tried to look at these. I tried to find maybe Gordo's name is a little bit smaller than some other guy that he's opening up for on tour. Nah, this is a big, fat Gordo. And yeah, he's doing Cordoba, Spain. He's going to go to Ibiza May 6th. And he's doing Buenos Aires too in a couple of days, maybe when this video drops. So this is insane. And if you look at his comments, a lot of it is in Spanish because I think he's Guatemalan. Originally, I don't know. He's American too. I think he grew up in America. Yeah, you can't compare to this Mustard. With all due respect, you probably got Grammys and all that, but we have all agreed that the highest form of success in this music stuff is getting people to leave their house, pay money, show up to your show hot and sweaty with a bunch of other people for you, and take a night out of their lives dedicated to you. That's the highest level of commitment somebody can have, a fan can have. And Gordo got that, and he's displaying that night after night. And Mustard, that we haven't seen you do that yet. So we got to be honest here. However, if we are talking like production credits with hits, yeah, Mustard definitely got hits and slappers. But it's other people assisting. So I also think to a degree, I don't know how much of an executive producer Mustard is, but Gordo's hits, they're not going to be chart topping because they're a bit of a niche genre, even though these guys sell crazy tickets because people want to go to the live shows. We've had Gordo's performed at places like Electric Zoo, what's the other one called? Ultra, all those big festivals. I don't know if you headline any of them. That would be mind-blowing because the people headlining that are huge. They're like the names I mentioned earlier, like Tiesto and all those other guys, although I didn't mention Tiesto yet until now. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. I hope these guys are able to repair their relationship. It's really not that big of a deal. They're both killing it in their own terms. Like, one's domestic, and that's the thing. I didn't like how Mustard was downgrading Gordo, like, keep slaving at those overseas shows. Like, what do you mean? Like, is that audience worth less? Like, there's 10,000 people there showing up for him. It's not like he went and did a festival overseas. That's a different story if he's just another one of like 50 people on the bill. You, Mustard, are like, people bought Coachella tickets anyway. There are a bunch of people at Coachella. They're not just there for you. So how many tickets can you sell domestically for you? And we'll see if you can pull more people. And that's the thing, man. Especially Not Like Us. Come on, man. And Mustard does have a great projects, though. I don't know about Faith of a Mustard Seed, but the one prior, the one where he had like multiple hits on there with Roddy Ricch, yeah, Mustard's doing his thing. I can't hate on any of these guys. That's the thing. I hope can we all just get along? But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one.